Hello and welcome back to Thursday. On a Thursday, we talk about habits and patterns of behavior and mindset and limiting beliefs and ultimately helping you to become closer to your future self. Last Friday, I had a headshot shoot, and these are always really interesting and they're incredibly technical, even though you feel like it's just having a nice time chatting to the photographer and talking about the shots or thinking about what you're going to wear or thinking about your hair or the wind or those sorts of things. But actually, it's quite a process because you might think you're doing all of these things and then you see it on the camera and you're like, oh, okay, that's translating in a different way. And so what you need to do is think about what you're doing and also how the camera is responding to that. Almost like those outfits that we've either heard about or we've done ourselves, where we leave the house, we feel really good about what we're wearing, and then suddenly somebody takes a picture of us and you have that realization that what you are wearing is completely see-through or a version of that. And when I got my pictures back, I noticed that sometimes it was just a tiny little movement, an eye movement, a chin down. Lots of the shots were similar to each other, but yet incredibly different because of a look or a feeling or a tone. And I want to bring this into your future self today and really use it for great, because again, it can be so easy, I think, to go off track or to have a series of small things and then suddenly get down the line and think, there's something, I've gone off course here. This is not quite where I wanted to get to. This is not actually the steps that I want to be taking to get closer to who I want to be. Sorry about the sirens. So yeah, I've got 5 exercises for you today, and let me know how you get on. As always, feel free to follow along with the series. On a Thursday, I always talk about your future self. So check them out. Check out my Substack, subscribe to YouTube, all of that great stuff. So number 1, I want you to choose a topic, a habit, a particular goal, however you resonate with this, and give it some focus. I want you to focus on it like you do when you are fast asleep and suddenly a car alarm goes off, or you're trying to film a video and the siren goes off, or a leaf blower, or you're trying to cook some food and a wasp appears in your kitchen and all you can think about is get this wasp out. I've got to move it out of the kitchen. I don't want it buzzing around my head. Sometimes, in order to see those mega moves, we have to up that focus. We have to turn up the dial of the brightness and not just assume it's going to happen, or we talked about it, or we hope for it, or we ask the universe, and then suddenly it's all going to magically appear. In my experience, that is not the case. You have to meet it. And so when you are thinking about this particular topic, I want you to go into the specifics, get right into the detail. So when we were looking at moving house, I always had this vision that I wanted to move by the time we were 40. And I think Matt was 41 by that point. But anyway, and when I was thinking about this, I felt like we would have our 2 kids by that point, and we were very lucky that was the case. But this process of achieving that goal started way before. And so we really had to break it down. And each and every day, I used to focus on the things that I could do, the things that felt within reach, such as really getting to know Rightmove, or going on a run and getting to know the local streets. What are the streets that feel good? Where's the bus stop? How would I get to work? All of these things. And I really began to give it my focus. I didn't put this future self or this goal and lock it away in a cupboard and just hope for the best. I brought it in. I brought it out every day and began to be in conversation with it. Number 2, when you are thinking about where you are right now with this goal, with this version, with this future self, I want you to be very honest. What is working and what isn't? And what you might find is you might reveal your gaps. So there might be certain things that lead you to a certain goal. And you might find that you are just doing the things that you really like, that feel easy for you, that feel doable, that feel enjoyable, that don't feel stretchy. And actually, what you might need to do is to do some of the harder things, is to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Maybe ask some bigger questions so you get some bigger answers and really go into it in that way. Number 3. I use different versions of myself, which I think live within all of us, but also we can obviously, if available, use these different people around us. So over the years, when I've read lots of coaching books and I did my training, there are definitely perspective shifts that we can all move into, these different states. So sometimes if you are struggling to move through something or you're stuck in a limiting belief, that is often your inner child or your childlike self leading the way, driving the bus essentially. And what you might need to do is to move in to more of an adult state or a parent state who, and these are all within you, who's going to be encouraging. Equally, you might need to welcome a friend into your goal. And I know that I have this with one particular friend that I will sometimes say, I really want to do this thing to her. And even though it feels completely out of reach, I have no idea how I'm going to do it. It feels so overwhelming and impossible at times. This friend, or actually another friend as well, they always see me for me within that. And they will sometimes just give me that sense of, you can do this, you know. You can do that. Because remember when you did this and and they kind of bring it all to life. And equally, I would be selective in that and not go to a friend who's going to be like, yeah, well, it's pretty impossible, isn't it? Because you tried that before and it didn't work last time. And I wouldn't choose that friend. So I want you to step out of your day-to-day way of doing things and maybe look at these different states. Number 4, I want you to flip the perspective around and see it from the other side. So say you want to go on podcasts and that is something that you really want to build, and yet nobody's replying to your email or nobody's inviting you. I want you to become so familiar with the person on the other end. Are they missing something? Are you an easy yes? Or are you making this really difficult? Are you going round and round the houses instead of saying what it is? Are you being useful in this conversation? Flipping it around will give you the tools. It will give you some answers of what to do next. And that is always incredibly powerful. Number 5, now that you have this focus, this particular area that you're working on, I want you to commit to the process. You don't have to make a lifelong commitment, but I would love you to look at a short-term solution. Maybe you commit to this for the next week. You analyze it, you check in with it, you look at it every single day. Maybe it's a week. Maybe you can go to 10 days. Maybe for the month of November, you could dedicate 30 days to this. Equally, you could do 100 days. What does that look and feel like? I think sometimes we assume that we're just going to wake up one day and everything will have gone and fallen into our lap. And I don't believe that it is the case. I don't believe that we wake up and kind of do this sort of Disney princess mode and suddenly everything is different. I think that often it is incremental, and that's a great thing as well, because it means that you can be in charge of it. You can make a plan and you can make it happen. If you would like some help and support, I would love to help you. Come on over, let's have a conversation, and I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Bye.